Yo, what's up, Colchester? Welcome to the podcast. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the 37th installment of the NP podcast. That intro, was it smooth? I don't know, but we already know the podcast never starts on time. But yeah, welcome everybody to the 37th installment of the NP podcast. Everyone late right now? Well, to be fair, I guess everybody is late right now. I just woke up. Holy shit. It's 7 p.m., dude. You gotta get your schedule a little fixed, unless you live in like a completely different continent than America. But, you know, what's up, everybody? I hope everybody is doing just fine and dandy, you know, because, yeah, I am. Besides the crippling loneliness, I'm doing pretty good, okay? My life has been pretty great lately. And guys, last week's podcast with Bat Deeren was so good. If you guys have not watched that podcast and like, you know, you're watching this in the future, definitely go back and watch the Bat Deeren podcast because it was really good. Now, I feel like with all these good guests coming onto the podcast, and like I guess I've become better at having guests on the podcast, and so those podcasts like totally drown out the solo podcast. Like, to be fair, also Colchester, the reason why nobody's here is because I completely forgot it was Saturday and I didn't tweet out this morning that the podcast was even happening, so that may be the reason. But hey, who cares? You know, I'm just here to have fun, talk about some stuff. And yeah, ever since having the guests on the podcast, it is much harder to do the solo podcast because I feel like the solo podcasts are very viewer reliant, you know. Maybe I have like two things to talk about in a solo podcast, but it's mainly based off of talking to you guys because that's what I want the solo podcast to be. Because at the time when I made the podcast up, the podcast was meant to just interact with chat and have fun, you know. That was the basis of what this podcast was supposed to be. And you know, it's remained that way for a long time, but it is definitely hard for the solo podcast to be even close as good as the podcast with the guest on, because the podcasts with the guest on are just so good, and then I feel like nobody wants to come to the solo podcast, so it's very like, shit, how am I gonna talk for 45 minutes about two different things? Now, I don't have just two things to talk about. What year did Cold War release? Cold War just got released yesterday, Colchester. Cold War just got released yesterday. Cold War Zombies. Wait, is Cold War Zombies even in the title of the stream? Hold up. Am I just a shitty streamer? Did Cold War... What is it? Did Cold War Zombies fail? Okay. It is Did Cold War Zombies fail? I meant World War II then. World War II came out in 2017. And it's actually so upsetting. I was so hyped for Cold War. I mean, not Cold War, World War II. Well, it's basically the same game. They both look the exact same, right? But I was so excited for World War II Zombies. I was like, this is the game I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna become a great YouTuber. You know, I'm gonna like show my resilience, you know, because nobody wants to play World War II. And when I started making content on World War II, I realized why nobody wanted to play World War II. World War II was just an awful game. Now, I'm not gonna lie, the beta was so fun. I enjoyed the multiplayer beta so much. I feel like I remember playing it on PS4 and I had a lot of fun, and then I remember playing it on PC and I was like, this is incredible. I love this game so much. So I was like in the mindset of, okay, I'm gonna do my best at making zombies content, but even if zombies content doesn't hash out for World War II, I would go to multiplayer because I just loved the multiplayer so much. But when World War II came out, I realized that I hated the zombies so much. I didn't even play past the first DLC. I spent $120 on the pre-order and the season pass, and I never even utilized it, okay? So, oh my god, it was just so shitty. It was such a shitty game. And then I realized that multiplayer wasn't actually good, okay? You know, it was fun because I feel like there was only a few guns that you could use in the beta. It was like the STG-44, the grease gun, the Tommy gun, the PPSH, and then that was like pretty much all around the only guns you could use. Actually, I played Modern Warfare Remastered. Modern Warfare Remastered was interesting. I enjoyed Modern Warfare Remastered, but then again, it was so drowned out by everything else. Did Modern Warfare Remastered come out in 2016? I'm pretty sure it did. But I remember enjoying that game quite a lot, playing it on my PS4. Actually, my friend Tyler at the time, back in 2017, he let me sign into his PS account so I could download it off of him. Remember when that was a thing? I feel like that is the only pro to playing on console, is that you could log into your friend's account and get their games, and they could do the same. So it was like a symbiotic relationship. You're helping each other out. You're both having each other's video games, and then you could play those games together. I remember I got a lot all the BO3 DLC for zombies off a friend, and then that's how I was able to play zombies on my channel. I play occasionally MW2 on my cousin's basement. It was so fun. Dude, don't get me even started about playing old Call of Duties. With like, yeah, I have similar experiences on Black Ops 2. Actually, I would go over to my cousin's house, and Georgie and we would play Black Ops 2 multiplayer. We would sniper 1v1, we'd do gun game 1v1, and we would also play Buried. Oh my god, that was so fun at the time. I can't even describe how much fun we've had doing that, but he doesn't have an Xbox 360 anymore, so it kind of sucks. But yeah, dude, such good times, man. And I actually really miss the experience of just playing zombies on a console. I feel like when you play zombies on a PC, sure, it's a special experience when you start playing zombies on PC, but after a while, it's no longer special. But there's something so good about getting that Xbox 360 controller out and playing some good old Call of Duty Zombies on some Black Ops 1 specifically. And you know, those controllers are so bad. I remember fondly of the Xbox controllers, but I got on this was like a long time ago, maybe like 10 months ago, or 2019 this has happened. I got on, my sister was playing Minecraft on our Xbox 360, so I decided to play a little bit, and the latency is so bad. By the time you move the thumbstick across the controller to turn, by the time it gets to the end, it is now reacting. That response time is so bad, and I'm like, how did we even play with this? Because I remember playing like Halo a long time ago with one of my childhood friends, and we would play, and I remember he used to shit on me so much. I was so bad at Halo. I don't know how, but he destroyed me. Like, we're out here being 8 years old, and this guy was dropping a 20 bomb kill streak on me. Like, I was that shit. But for real, I wasn't allowed to play video games that much as a child. I don't remember what the first COD was named, but I played it on his Xbox. Oh, that's really cool. You know, the first few Call of Duties are really cool. But it's so cool. Call of Duty has such a distinct history in our culture, and it's so awesome. Like, ever since the first one was released, which I think had to be like, what, 2001, 2002? It's crazy how Call of Duty has been such a big thing in our lives, and it's really sad to say, but leading into oh, also I want to say real quick, next week on next week's podcast on Saturday, we're having a special guest on, AstroNut. She's a longtime friend of mine. I love her so much, and I'm really excited to have her on the podcast. I actually hit her up, and she was like, she commented on my on one of my videos, and like, you have a podcast? And I was like, yeah. And I was like, wait, I could have you on. And I'm just excited to have her on the podcast next week. I'm really excited to have her on. We're gonna be talking, and I hope you guys enjoy it, really. But getting into the meat of this podcast, it's talking about Cold War Zombies specifically, because we already know Cold War multiplayer failed. I feel like every Call of Duty, I feel like Modern Warfare was the only Call of Duty that succeeded since BO2 in terms of multiplayer, because I remember when Black Ops 2 came out, the multiplayer was phenomenal. It was the first multiplayer game I actually enjoyed. Now, sure, with Black Ops 1, I played the multiplayer, and I played around with it, because I remember one of my childhood friend DeAndre, his disc got scratched up somehow, and for some reason, only zombies wouldn't work on the game, but Call of Duty multiplayer would. So we were forced to play split screen Call of Duty multiplayer, and that was actually one of my last memories of playing Black Ops 1 on Xbox 360, was that zombies wouldn't work anymore, so we were forced to play multiplayer. And so that would happen every weekend when I came to his house, and those were good times. I miss having sleepovers, man. I hate to get off track, all right, but let me just talk about sleepovers. Being a kid and sleeping over at your friend's house is such a magical thing. I have so many good memories from sleepovers. I remember, going to my friend's house, DeAndre, and I loved going over to his house, and we'd play Call of Duty Zombies. We'd eat like shit. I remember we'd eat ramen. It was good times, I miss his sister. That sounds so weird, but she was awesome. I miss his mom too. I actually hit him up, but I was like, we should hang out sometime after Corona. But I don't think it's ever actually going to happen, We tried hanging out before coronavirus happened, but he lives so far away that it just didn't work out. But, I have good memories of playing Pokemon cards with my friend Ian when he would sleep over. That's when... It's so weird saying this, but... my friend and I, Ian, we didn't get into Pokemon, the TCG, because of collecting the cards. We got into the card game and actually played it. We might be the only kids on Earth that actually have ever done that, which isn't true. But, I never knew anybody who knew how to play the card game, and it seems like on the internet, nobody, all these big time collectors don't even know the start of how to play the TCG. And it was just yeah, Ian and I remember the night where we both bought our theme decks, and we played against each other, and we were looking at the rule book, learning all the rules, and I remember that was a truly magical night. What are you going to talk about? Hold up. Yeah, we are going to get to that. I used to remember how to play the card game maybe in 2011. Oh, okay. Okay, I see you. With friends as a child. Man, video games hold some good memories in our heart. But it's truly sad that... Colchester, how old are you? You're 15, 16, right? When you become an adult... Not even an adult, but when you age... You realize how much you don't even enjoy video games, and it truly feels like a waste of time. 16, yeah, okay. Enjoy video games now, man. Maybe it's something that I grew older, and maybe it's something I drained out. Maybe it's for me playing Fortnite, but even then my burnout with video games happened before Fortnite. I remember in 2017 I never wanted to play zombies again, and that's why in 2018 I switched to meme content, because I never wanted to play zombies ever again. And then I switched to Fortnite content and did Fortnite from 2 years. I can't believe it took me 2 years to finally quit Fortnite. That was insane. But talking about Cold War Zombies, did it fail? Now this may be a controversial question, and to as in controversial, as in not a lot of people will agree with this opinion. But to be honest, I can't really give an answer to this because I didn't play Cold War Zombies. But looking at everybody's opinion on it, and like it's so bad to judge a game based off its face value, but that's what you do. That's just what you do. We judge everything based off of like our immediate reaction of it. And usually how our opinions end up happening of something is based off our immediate reaction of it. Now, if you have that kind of reaction towards people, you know, you judge them off your immediate reaction of them. That's the kind of stuff that you have to get under control, you know. We all do that. We are all judgmental humans, and you know, some people say it's because of it's a survival mechanic or something. Now, I don't really know about that, but I do know that we all do it no matter what. You can say you're not a judgmental person, but we all judge based off when we first meet somebody. But it's after that that we have to we kind of have to we have to suppress those feelings and remember that these are human beings too. And when we meet somebody, it's not always a perfect situation, you know. Maybe they're not in a good mood that day. It doesn't really matter. But I feel with like artificial things that aren't humans, judging off face value is pretty much determines our feelings for it for the rest of ever. So even though I had so it doesn't matter even if you have a good impression of it, because my impression of Call of Duty Cold War Zombies was I was so excited. I was so stoked. But they kind of didn't feed the hype. The trailer came out, it got you hyped, and then it kind of died off. There was nothing else to feed into the hype at all. And so it was frustrating. Because I was so excited for this game, but then more of it got like pieced together. And how the hell did the Easter egg get solved before the game was even released? That was just bullshit. I heard about that and I was like, wow, that is insane that happened. Now, I'm not a person who cares about Easter egg. I'm not going to pretend that I care about Easter eggs at all. I haven't done a zombies Easter egg since 2011 when Moon first came out. That was the last Easter egg that I've ever done. You know, I've tried to do Easter eggs. I tried to do the Origins Easter egg. I tried to do the Shadows Easter egg, but I've never gotten them completed. So technically, I haven't completed an Easter egg since 2011. That's not good for such a popular brand. What do you mean? But anyways, the game just looks bad. It doesn't look good. It just this is along with all the things I was saying with you know, enjoy video games now while you can, because I feel like when I've gotten older and I've just seen these things as just a waste of time. It's like zombies, you know. It's not fun. In general, this is a whole different thing other than that, you know, from enjoying video games. But zombies is just boring. Zombies isn't fun at all. Sure, it was fun when you played it once every weekend with one of your friends and you were like really bad at the game. The highest round you ever got to was round 30 and you constantly always died before round 20. Those were when Call of Duty Zombies was fun. But I think I'm finally getting the Fortnite effect, where I'm finally realizing that I just have to let zombies go, and zombies will never be good again. Now, this isn't the same with custom zombies. Custom zombies is a whole different beast. Custom zombies, I think, will reign supreme over the actual Call of Duty games forever. I feel like 10 years from now, more people will be playing Call of Duty World at War Custom Zombies, or even let's say Black Ops 3 Custom Zombies gets to the height that World at War Custom Zombies got to. Either of those games. I feel like in the next 10 years, whenever Call of Duty is out, people will be playing the Custom Zombies map more than the base maps. That's for sure. There's something magical about custom zombies. It's something is so amazing about it. It's something so attractive of it. I get on custom zombies World at War, right? When I say custom zombies, I'm gonna be referring to World at War, not Black Ops 3. I'll address it as Black Ops 3 customs if I need to. But something is truly so charming about custom zombies. What is custom zombies? You don't know what custom zombies are, Colchester? Wait, Colchester, do you even play zombies at all? Maybe you don't. Yeah, Colchester, do you even play zombies? Custom zombies are maps made by the community, basically. And they are made. I don't play COD. Oh shit. Okay. So let me explain custom zombies real quick. So they're the maps that are made by the actual developers of the game. So Treyarch, you know, let's say Black Ops 1, Keynote or Toten 5, Moon, Call of the Dead, those kind of maps, right? And then they're custom maps made by the people of the community. So on World at War, you're actually able to make your own zombies maps, which is awesome. And so I feel like in the custom maps, custom zombies will always be the best. To this day, I get on and it gives me shivers when I play custom zombies, because I love it so much. Something feels so like, it feels like I'm back in 2010. I remember back in 2010, I would save up for a computer, right? Because I wanted to play World at War Zombies so much. I saw people play World at War custom zombies, and I was like, man, I wish I could play that so much. I wish I had a YouTube channel so I could make gameplays on it. And that's truly what I wanted my YouTube channel to be, is just custom zombies. Now, it's sad that it doesn't work out that way, you know, because it's not perfect. I was a child then, and up until 2017, always what I wanted my channel to be was custom zombies, and it's really sad that it doesn't get to be that way, because truly, you get bored of it. It gets truly so boring playing zombies, because you're no longer a child that the only time you ever get to play it is when you go to your friend's house once a week. You know, some weeks you don't even get to go to his house. And then, you know, maybe that's only, you guys only play for like 4 or 5 hours that night, and then you go home the next day, right? In that way, maybe that's why growing up, video games aren't fun anymore, because you don't have that filter, you know? For me, it was the only time I ever got to play video games as a child was when I went to a friend's house and played them. And I don't know if that's the same with everybody, but I just wasn't allowed to play video games that much as a kid. And maybe that's why I don't like them now. But anyways, custom zombies, I love custom zombies to this day, and custom zombies will always be the superior version of Call of Duty zombies. But anyways, getting back on topic, right? I went off right there. But I don't think Cold War Zombies, the game itself, failed. But I think Zombies has failed to do anything different. I made that video a long time ago, I think like 1 or 2 months ago, how Cold War Zombies could succeed. I was like, oh, it could be turned into some kind of tower defense type of game, which is a great idea, by the way. It would really switch up the mechanics of Zombies, but Zombies is in this situation where if they switch something too much, everybody in the community is like, this doesn't feel like Zombies. What the hell is this? But then they do nothing to the game, and they're like, and then the people who play Zombies are like, this is the same fucking game. This is unplayable. And it's like, I see what the situation Treyarch is in, obviously. They're trying to obviously make money and provide for the fans of the game, which is impossible to do, because the negativity always fleshes out before the positivity, right? And I've realized this. You'll make a video that's negative, give it a negative title, it'll get so many views, right? Not like so many views, like, oh, it'll get millions, but you'll post a positive video and nobody will care to click on it. And I've seen this before. I made a video. So my last video was my mental breakdown, which it was obviously like a funny video. You know, I didn't actually have a mental breakdown, but it obviously had a negative title. And that video got 70 views within an hour of uploading, which is crazy. Now, I didn't mean to look at the views, I just happened to see them. But when I was clicking on creator dashboard, but you'll post a positive, but any other video that I post, within an hour, I would be lucky if I had 25 views, you know? And it's so crazy that people feed off negativity. People want to see negativity. Now, I understand it to an extent. Sometimes seeing negative things happen. Why do we get off on seeing negative things happen to people, you know? Or like enjoy hearing it. We hear a celebrity and then something bad happens to them, and like, oh, this celebrity broke their wrist and now they can't play tennis anymore, or they can't Instagram anymore, right? And we will basically root for the way they broke their hand, right? We will root for the negativity in everything in life, and it's so sad. It is so sad that we're so negative, that we want negative things to happen to other people just to make ourselves feel better. And, you know, I'm not going to act like I don't do this. I do it, but I've learned to suppress that. You know, I catch myself doing that, and I'm like, wait, no, that's wrong. And it's something you really have to reprogram your brain, because it's something we just naturally grow up doing, because everybody else around us does it. You know, we'll hear our parents as a child, you know, if you grew up with a broke family, and you know, you hear them talking about like, oh, this rich person lost all their money. Well, they deserve it. I'm so glad they did it. Maybe they'll get a little taste of humanity. You know, that's not something I've heard of before, but that's just a scenario. We grew up with that mentality, and then it infects us as we get older, and then we always wish to hear negative things upon others to make our lives feel better, to make us feel more adequate, because that's essentially what it is. We want negative things to happen to other people so we could feel better about our lives. And it's so sad that it works like that, man. It's so sad. Now let me read your comment, Cool Chesta. In January, I hope I don't fuck up. You won't. I built my computer within 40 minutes, my first try. It's so easy to be influenced nowadays and pick up on it. Yeah, for sure. You get influenced by so many things nowadays. It is truly sad. You know, obviously, everybody's going to be influenced by something. You know, I was influenced by seeing YouTubers make custom zombies content back in 2010. And that's why in 2017, 7 years later, I still had this burning passion to start a YouTube channel, and I did it. That's the kind of good, that's the, I guess, the good influence. But the bad influence, it feels like everything in our life is almost bad influence. It's truly sad, because then you have to reprogram your brain, and you basically grow up. Once you realize those thoughts are bad, you grow up with those thoughts, and you just naturally have them, and you have to have this constant conflict in your brain of, you think of something that's just natural to you, and then you have to fight off those thoughts, and it's awful. But hey, I'm appreciative of my life. And I'm appreciative of mainly that I can notice those feelings as being bad and being able to tell myself to basically stop. You know what would be the worst alternative to that? It's not even knowing those were bad thoughts and letting negativity fester through you your entire life. So I'm so appreciative that I can even recognize those as bad thoughts and suppress them. And because without that, you know, who knows, I'd just be a negative ass person. You know, I used to be, but no longer am I that same person who's so negative, you know. And I'm really appreciative that I can notice right from wrong now for things that you think. And now, you know, I question every thought I have. I'll be like, is this thought deeply rooted in negativity? And I you know, break down thoughts like that. You know, I'll think something and I'll question whether this thought is right or wrong to have. And, you know, some people think like, oh, it would suck having a life where you question everything. But having a life where you don't question anything and just go with natural instinct that you grew up with, that is 10 times worse than questioning every single thing you think. It's so easy to, it's a sign that you're growing as a person. Yeah. But hey, welcome to thanks for joining my TED Talk. You know, I don't know how I always get into talking about such deep things. This shit is so deep you could call it my asshole. That's a fact. But yeah, you know, that's mainly the chunk of the podcast today. It's the solo podcast. It's not going to be long. But real quick, I wanted to talk about my job. I'm not going to say the name of the job, obviously, because, you know, I talked about my job on the podcast. What if somebody, you know, send what's next week's topic? Oh, I'm having a guest on the podcast, AstroNut. I'm so excited to have her on. So yeah, next week we have AstroNut on the podcast. But anyways, so at this job, I work at Popeyes, LeMayo. Yeah, I don't work in a food chain restaurant. Yo, Tyler, welcome to the podcast, man. Thanks for joining on in. But anyways, what I was saying was I really enjoy this job right now. I work 4 days this week, and after I stop this podcast, I'm gonna go pop some food in the oven, and I'm gonna get my start editing my next video, which is the one that I recovered in the video that I made of my mental breakdown video. That's the video that I couldn't make anymore, but it got recovered since Sony Vegas is working now. So I'm gonna continue working on that video and try to get as much done tonight as I can. I'm probably gonna only work on it till maybe 1 hour, because this podcast is gonna end maybe in like 10-20 minutes. And yeah, and I really want to get that done because I gotta go to bed at by 12 o'clock. So so at 11 o'clock, that's when I stop looking at screens, and I'll do my stretching, my meditation, and, you know, just thinking before I go to bed. And for that hour, and then I go to bed at 12 and I wake up at 6. It seems really bad to be going to bed at 12, but the reason is because I didn't know I had work tomorrow. My friend actually sent me a picture of our schedule, and so I didn't I wasn't very responsible. I woke up at 11:45 a.m. this morning. So yeah, it's gonna be a struggle tonight, and it's gonna be a struggle tomorrow morning, but hey, I'm a big boy. I can get through it. But yeah, I love this job a lot. It's so nice it gives you a break from real life. It's so weird that the internet is like what used to be a break from real life, but now real life is a break from the internet. You know, I get caught up so much in life because before I had this job, it really seemed like all my life was doing YouTube, which it's a really sad, pathetic life. if you think about it. Now, don't get me wrong. I love doing YouTube with a passion. That's why I still do it. And that's why I've never quit, even though the hardships I've gone through on YouTube. It's just, when your life is constantly YouTube, it's a shit life, you know? I remember back in 2017, I hold these memories with such high esteem because I remember going to school and having a job when I started my YouTube channel. And that was like when life was really good, because it was like, you know, I was doing my hobby, I was doing my responsibility, and I was doing a job. And those were good times. And now I finally feel like I'm back in that feeling. Now, sure, something I've also realized is just because you're happy in life. Hold on. I saw some new people in. Yo, I just freaking bought it. Astro, you bought it? We'll have to talk about it next week on our podcast, which, again, for the 5th time this stream. Next week, I'm having AstroNut on the podcast Saturday, 8 p.m. EST. I'm going to be getting on the adult train soon after Christmas. Tyler, you're like 15. Yeah, Astro, too bad you kind of you missed the part of the podcast where I talked about Cold War, but I didn't buy it because it looks terrible, and all the opinions that I've seen people from getting it. I don't want to waste $60 on the game. No, I'm 16. I'll be 17 in January. Oh, okay. But anyways, what I was saying is, I'm so happy in life right now. And something I've realized is nothing fixes loneliness. There's this type of loneliness I have that a friend can't fix. You know what I'm saying? And now it's not necessarily true. I didn't have this loneliness when it's like it not something of, it's more like a loneliness lacking a bond with someone, I guess. And when Robbie09 was doing YouTube, I didn't feel that loneliness. I felt like I had a bond with somebody. You know, it felt like we were going at YouTube was war. You know, we were brothers in war doing YouTube. And it really felt like we had that bond. We were always helping each other out with our channels. You know, I'd talk to Robbie09 about my video ideas. He'd talk to me about his. We'd perfect each other's video ideas. And we'd just talk, you know. And that was a great bond. And I didn't feel that type of loneliness. But when he quit YouTube, that bond was immediately cut off. You know. And I'm back at square one. My life is so happy, right? My life is so happy, but I just have this loneliness. You know, it's quite crazy because I always heard people talk about how you should, you know, you should always be happy before you search having, you know, a person you're with, right? But now that I realize that, I'm like, those are really good words, but it's not the type of happy that you don't need that, but it's the type of happy where you're really happy in life, but you still lack that bond with somebody, right? And just I felt so lonely. I don't mean to talk about personal shit on the podcast. I usually keep personal stuff completely out, but you know, yeah, but I've been so happy lately, you know. And I'm very appreciative of my life. That's it. You know, I may be lonely, but hey, you know, I'm happy. I would rather be, you know what would suck? You know what would truly suck? It's not being lonely and being unhappy. You know, they both have their pros and cons, you know. But it's just felt like I've had nobody in life lately. Robbie09 died or something? Nah, he just quit YouTube. Being happy is freaking tough. It is, but I finally found in life what makes me truly happy. And now that I got it under control, man, I'm living. You know, I'm truly living. I head to Menards. I'll see you next week. Yo, have a good night, Colchester. I don't know if that means you're if you're getting off the stream. But have a good night, man. Thank you so much for coming out. Pog Podcast. Yo, Dylan, welcome to the stream, man. Bro, to be honest, YouTube is a hard line of work. Only the strong survive. Out of everyone I've seen, small YouTubers, they have all failed and quit besides you. Man, Tyler. Why you gotta say something that makes me feel so good? You know, I'm not a prideful person, but honestly, I truly do take pride in YouTube. You know, maybe my numbers aren't as good as a lot of people are, but you know what's better than that my numbers aren't good? The fact that I've never quit YouTube. I've had friends that could have been, you know, at 100,000. Like, Tyler, you remember Grizzly Bomb when he made his other channel and it was like absolutely blowing up? I'm just so happy. I'm so happy that I don't give a shit about views on YouTube anymore. Man, it was so toxic when I cared about views. Like, even when I said I didn't care about views, but I still subconsciously cared about views, but I was just poor. Man, I'm so glad I'm over that. I'm so glad that YouTube is now just a passion for me, because YouTube felt like work. For a long time, it felt like a job, and I was making it feel like a job for myself, and it was terrible. I'm so glad I'm past that. I'm so glad that I can make content now, and it can truly be my best content, because you're not going to make your best content when YouTube feels like a job and you're forcing yourself to do it. No, your best content is going to come out of leisurely doing YouTube, you know, having, you know, a little schedule for it to keep you on track. But overall, I just feel so good, man. And just the fact, I hate that, It truly makes me sad that every single YouTube friend I've ever had has quit YouTube. But then it also brings a smile to my face that I was the strongest out of all of them. That sounds so bad. That sounds like I'm holding myself higher than all of them. But it's like it's like entering boot camp, right? And you enter in, you know, you had 10 other friends with you. You all enter in boot camp, and all 10 of them quit slowly throughout the process of the 3-month boot camp, right? Of going in the Marines. And then you're the last one standing, and you're the one who's now recruited in a Marine. You know, it's like a sad feeling. It's a bittersweet feeling. That's what it is. I missed out on quite a bit. Yeah, you did. What sucks also is having someone but not knowing you're in love with the idea of them and not actually them, and when shit hits the fan and you realize it, oof. Yeah, Astro, I've had that feeling. I hate to say this, but how do I don't want to be too personal and reveal the situation that happened, but basically I was talking to 2 girls. I picked one, and this girl I was actually dating, right? And she was so literally the most attractive girl I've ever seen, right? And then there's this other girl that I was talking to, right, that I could genuinely say, like, I was in love with. But I picked, this was, I'm glad this happened to me, because it was a strong moment of realization of how much of an ignorant child I was. But anyways, I kept on going out with the hot girl, right? Even though I was talking to this other girl on the other hand. But for a long time, I kept on rejecting her advances. And then when this girl, something happened, you know, we didn't end up doing anything together. And then, so that happened, and I had this realization that I truly cared about this other girl and not the other girl, and that I didn't actually really care about her. She was just literally the hottest person I've ever met, you know? And it made me realize how ignorant I was to pick a girl that just because this also ties in with the fact of like caring what people think about you, because now I truly don't care what people think about me. This was a step in realizing not realizing that I don't care, but truly not caring what people thought about me anymore. And it was because it kind of had this sub-rooted thing where you were like, what are people gonna think of me that, you know, I'm going out with a girl that's not, you know, that's not a 10. And it made me realize after that whole situation how much of an ignorant child I was to do that, and how, like, because I always talk about how I hate things that are so superficial and so subsurface, and then I realized that I was doing that the entire time, and I'm so glad it happened to me. And then I realized, you know, I was talking to this girl, and then I was advancing on her, and then all of a sudden she was closed off, and it had nothing to do with that situation, but I feel like it was karma, honestly, and I truly deserved it. I truly deserved it, really. And I'm glad that it happened to me, because I realized how ignorant I was. And it truly that was when I realized that what, like, the feeling of love actually is. Not like I felt love before, but it's hard to describe. But yeah, sorry to get so personal on this podcast. I usually hate talking personal shit. You know, it doesn't, I feel like on the internet you talk about personal stuff and it's just fuel for people to take you down one day. Somebody did that to me once. We just need to get you exposure. You've already shown time and time again you're dedicated into the line of entertainment. I don't need exposure. I don't care about exposure. Dude, if I was a small channel the rest of my life, I don't care. Cause I realized when the final realization for me that I didn't care about views anymore was when I realized, I thought to myself and was, if my channel started getting 0 views on every single video, I still wouldn't stop doing YouTube. So literally, what's the point of caring that my channel has slowly decreased in views for so long? And I don't care about exposure. I'll be happy if I'm a small channel the rest of my life, you know, because there's appreciation you can take from in everything. Right now, I'm a small YouTuber. I can literally take the time to make friends with every single person that comes into my chat. I know everybody on a first name basis. Besides Colchester, you know, I've never heard his name before. He's never told me. But yeah. That's a pro of being a small YouTuber, and I bet there's pros of being bigger YouTubers, you know, being able to collab with more people, you know, maybe getting more people on the podcast. You know, I'll never get a lot of other people on the podcast. I'm only getting out of my friends on the podcast, basically. You know, YouTubers I've known for a long time. If my channel would just turn to 0 views on videos, I would probably get flagged as a bot user by YouTube and get my account deleted. Yeah. But I don't care about views, and I don't care about exposure. If my channel gets big, you know, I get like 10,000 subscribers, that'd be cool. But it's not something I yearn for anymore. You know, I used to set my goals on my YouTube channel as numbers, right? And obviously, you know, having milestones is not really that like, you know, 3,000 subscribers. You know, I'm not itching to get to 3,000 subscribers and setting a goal because I'm itching to get to 3,000 subscribers. I'm setting a milestone like video, you know, shaving off the entire beard, just because it's an achievement that's cool. You know, 3,000 subscribers more is like how long it took me to get there rather than how much it took me to get there. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, guys, bro, to be honest, I'm just trying to sell your toe pics. Shit, bro, y'all trying to see my toes? They are gruesome. They are disgusting. This is, I don't know what was wrong with my feet, but Dude, I just got out of the shower before the podcast too. Look at that toe. It is so mangled. $50, I get the beard trimmings. Should I do that? Should I sell the beard hair? Should I sell the beard hair after that would be so funny. I should really sell the beard hair. I should really sell the beard hair. Or give it away. I'll give away the beard hair to one lucky winner. The Nerd Period first time shaved in 4 years. But anyways, guys, thank you so much to tuning in to the 37th installment of the NP podcast. Dude, we've been 10 weeks strong. The last 10 weeks we've done a podcast every week. This was one of the better solo podcasts. I'm really appreciative of everybody who decided to drop by today. So shout out to Tyler, Dylan, Tati, Colchester. Thank you to all of you for stopping by. I really appreciate you guys. You know, and that was a really fun podcast. I really appreciate everybody who decided to come out. I failed No Nut November on the first day, not gonna lie. I didn't even realize it was No Nut November on the first day, and I already failed, so I was like, shit. That picture of Putin was thick. What picture of Putin? Was it in my Discord? But anyways, yeah. I'm going to end this stream here, guys. Cue the outro music. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. I love you all. And I'll see you next week. Next week on the podcast, we are featuring AstroNut. I'm so excited to have her on. I love her dearly. And yeah, it's going to be a great podcast. And you know what? Peace, guys. I'll see you in the next podcast.